Hi, this is Chris with Stupid Raisins, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to cut audio in Final Cut Pro, which is a handy thing to know in case you need to cut out any mistakes like coughs or silence, flubs, or emotional outbursts. Now I'm going to share with you how to cut and trim audio on your timeline, and then we're going to take a look at shortcuts and tools to help improve your workflow. Let's check that out. Okay, so we're here in Final Cut Pro. We're taking a look at cutting audio. So what we've got here is we've got three different types of audio. We've got audio within a video clip, we've got some voiceover, and we have a music track down below. So let me go ahead and play this back. So you can hear there's mistakes in the voiceover, the music's a little loud, and there's extra noise, just a lot of white noise, just the wind and the sound of the snowboard crunching on the snow. It's just not a pretty sound. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and cut this audio. All right, so we're gonna go and right click, open up this menu here, and there is an option to detach audio. So what that has done is that has taken this audio here, separated it, and put it down below. Now what you can do with this is you can delete it, get it out of there, or you just have more freedom to make some adjustments outside of the clip here. So we may wanna expand the audio. We can right click again. Right here it says expand audio. The shortcut for that is Control S. You can see how it doesn't completely detach. So it looks like it's detached, but you can see there's these little diagonal lines. That is showing that it is an expanded view of the same clip. So that audio is still tied to that clip. Now let's say we go ahead and make a cut right in the middle of this. Now what we can do, you can see the perforated lines, the little ticks there. Now what you can do is drag the video and audio. Now you can drag them independently of each other and allow for some crossover. So you see there, if you want like a clip to lead into another clip or this one to kind of lead out to the next clip. This is really great in interviews where you're trying to have a cut not sound so abrupt. You can actually have a little bit of a blending from one clip to the next. So we have another tutorial video that dives further into this. It's the how to blend audio in Final Cut Pro. Definitely check that out. Now next we're gonna look at the voiceover. And if we play this. Snowboarding is a lot of fun. So we're gonna focus on the voiceover first and then come back to the music track later. So we're gonna hit the V key, which is going to disable this. So as we play this back. Snowboarding is a lot of fun. We have just one audio source playing. So there's a couple different ways we can cut this up. So I know there's some mistakes in here. Snowboarding. All right, so clearly there's a mistake right there. Now, a couple things you can do. You can use the blade key. You can select this, hit Command B, or you can actually hold the B key. It creates this little scissor cursor, and you can click right where you want to cut. And these waveforms are very helpful. You can find right where all of your takes are, especially there's a long pause like I had in between these. All right, and then for the end, what we're gonna do is a really cool trick called trim to end. So there's trim to start and trim to end, but the first one I'm gonna show you is right here. We'll go up to trim and trim to end. You can select it up in the menu. I love shortcuts, and that shortcut is Option right bracket. So right here we'll hit right bracket, and it takes everything to the right or to the end of that clip and brings it back to either your playhead or the skimmer. The skimmer is on because I have the skimming selected. But yeah, wherever the red line is at in your timeline is where it's going to trim to. So we can do that at the beginning too. I wanna make sure we have it selected. Option, left bracket, and there we go. I do know this is a mistake, so we just wanna cut that whole piece out of here. We'll drag some of these over. I'm gonna cut right to the chase. We share new videos like this all the time to help with your Final Cut Pro projects. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you can get notified when we release our next video. So there's another helpful cursor that we can switch to. This tool is called the range tool. We can hold down R, drag the space that we want to keep. We can do Option and backslash, and it will trim to that range. All right, hit R for range, drag over the part that we want, then hit Option backslash. It trims down to that range selection. So let's play some of these back. Let's make sure we got something good. It's definitely worth trying at least once in your life. It can be quite an expensive hobby. But it looks like this guy's But it looks like this guy's having fun. All right, so we don't want this clip. This was another flub. We'll drag all these over. We definitely want to trim this down. So we can hit the T key and trim. We can either trim between sections or trim the ends of sections. Or if we're like, you know what? I don't want this empty space up here. We can drag this across using this, the T key. So another cursor tool. If we hit T, that will give us this trim, and we can move this around, or we can move this between clips, dragging away from one clip and overwriting with the other. Now let's say we had a stack of a bunch of different sound effects and layers of audio, and we wanted to solo out just one particular piece. We can select a clip, go over to this headphones. So in a way, the headphones just kind of signifies that we're soloing out this track. So we'll hit solo. As you can see, it grays out everything else. So that way, the only audio we'll hear, it can be quite an expensive hobby, is just that one clip. There's a shortcut for that, and that is Option S. So we can turn that off and on, or go to another clip, turn it on for another clip. But we can actually take these shortcut keys, the comma and the period, and that will go forward and back. You can almost think about the arrows that are on those keys as backwards and forwards, and it just moves one frame at a time. Now, if you hold down Shift and move it, it will actually move 10 frames at a time. Okay, now we move on to music. So we have this music track down here that we're gonna re-enable with the V key, and we'll listen to this. Snowboarding is a lot of fun. It's definitely worth trying it. So it's a little loud. We'll want to bring that down a bit. Let's go ahead and do that now, probably like -12. In this video, we're focusing mainly on cutting, so we're not gonna focus on so much of like getting the vocals to be balanced just right. We do have other videos about balancing audio that you can find on our channel as well. So a couple things we can do is we can take a look and we can see, okay, this clip is about 9 seconds and 16 frames. You can see that here. Now this is 6 minutes, 39 seconds, and 9 frames. So we're gonna wanna trim this down. There's a couple different ways we can do that. One of them is holding Control and hitting D. This is the duration tool. So you can also get to that by right-clicking, selecting Change Duration, and we can hit 10 seconds. So we gotta do a 10, and now it's currently only on the frames. So depending on your project, like in this project, it's 24 frames a second. So we don't wanna keep it at 10 frames, so we wanna hit 0, 0, and that will push that 10 into the seconds. And we will hit the return key. So I'm gonna hit Shift Z and see, all right, so we got this timeline here with this really long audio track. All right, there's a few more ways that we can trim this down. One is, just like we saw earlier, we can hit Option right bracket, and that'll bring it all the way back down. Or we can click the very end of this clip, then go back to where we want it to stop, and we'll hit Shift X, which does an extend edit. We can also, if we wanted to say, okay, we want this to last until a minute, we can also click the end of this clip, make sure that bracket is shown on the end of it, then hit Shift X, and it will extend right to our skim tool or playhead. So just for a simple finalization of this edit, we can just drag in some fades right here, and then we can throw a transition on top of that. At least once in your life. It can be quite an expensive hobby. So it looks like this guy's having fun. Very nice. So that's a rundown of how to cut audio in your timeline from audio that's within a video, audio that's meant for voiceover, and to audio that's meant for a music track. And with that, we've reached the end. Thanks for tagging along. Nice. Now, don't cut to the next video yet. Now that you've learned how to cut audio in Final Cut Pro, I made another video about how to add a voiceover in Final Cut Pro. Click here to check it out.